He upgraded to the Pro. Hey guys, welcome to the podcast. What's going on? This is Trey. I'm not Trey. I'm Scout, and we have
Nope.
Trey on the what?
No, I was making sure they knew that was not me.
Oh, okay, guys. All right. So, welcome to the show. I hope you're having a good day. We're gonna share the stuff like we always do in the place to be. Jaime's already on the comments before we even start the show. Come on, Jaime.
Dang, son.
He's always ready to go. He's our number one fan slash number one critic slash number one everything else.
I don't see that for some reason.
I don't. Maybe he didn't do a comment. He did. Oh no, it was in a photo that I was tagged in. So I imagine it was the. I bet it was the picture of Dontaye.
Oh,
For the
okay.
show.
Interesting.
So he's not in the comments. See, I was like all saying that. I was all saying he was. No. Okay. Hey, Trey,
Jason,
you
you
want to
ready?
play? No.
No?
I'm not ready. Obviously. Oh. Okay, I'm not really ready. Only if I'm looking like I'm on a machete, but now I'm ready. Only if I'm getting it going. I'm waiting for a different song, like I feeling it, mom, and now I get it through. Now I pretend like I'm cool, but I never knew what I was supposed to say or do. You, yes, I'm talking to you. That one person watching the live stream, how you do? I hope you're having a good day. Wait, whoa. What am I supposed to do if I let go? Now I gotta be that wonder that let them show when my little time go, but now I never know. What am I doing if I pursue the situation losing? My metaphor, but now I ain't cruising for a bruising. Only if you knew what I could be. Only if I'm looking back and now I'm waiting for a G and I know. What am I doing? I'm letting go, explode, expand, and make them all go. Hey, Dante, hoping you're having a good day. Only if I can't run around anyway. Hey, Trey, you're amazing at what you do, friend.
Appreciate
Hey,
it, man.
that was our not serious freestyle. Hopefully you enjoyed that. So,
That
hey,
was
Trey,
good.
you're gonna press the button, or I'm gonna have to press the button.
Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you.
Hey guys, welcome to the
Gang.
show. Hey, nice to see everybody.
I like that intro.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
We made the Trey. That's all Trey's beats there in his mouth and on the video. So,
Are you using your mic, Jason?
does this sound terrible?
It doesn't sound nearly as loud.
Well, let me make sure. I might not be using my mic. See, this is why I need help at all times. To do what I'm doing. I didn't have the right. Oh, no, I'm not using the mic.
I'm like, you sound so different. I didn't even realize that. Also, with the intro, we don't have that transition piece.
Oh yeah, we didn't set up for that.
You sound so much better now. Oh,
Okay.
night and day
Sorry.
difference.
Music to my ears.
Yeah, sorry. Why did you tell me it was terrible sounding, guys?
I mean, well,
Oh
we
my
can only
gosh.
do so much.
So what's been happening is we'll do the highlights of the day and I'll tell the story then. What's our highlights of the day? Trey, do you got one or do you want me to start with me?
I broke my back.
Nice.
Whoa.
Nice.
I don't know if that's a highlight.
Well, it's definitely it's up there.
I found an alien at my doorstep.
Okay.
What do you got, Dante?
I sang a lot of Baby Shark with my daughter and my niece today. You
Live that
know,
life.
Okay.
Mine's 5-figure family. Oh, yeah. Anyways, very cool.
So-
let's see. Trey.
Yeah, so I this past weekend I moved a ton of furniture. I mean, like more than I have in a very long time. And my parents got new furniture from some friends. They're moving to the coast, and so they were able to actually take some of their furniture, and they paid them for it. And honestly, man, it wasn't even that bad. transitioning it to my parents' house, it was what was already in their house, which was the heaviest part. So my sister's old room, which she gave to our younger sister, it's like she doesn't have a box spring for the mattress. It's literally pallets. And so they made it in a wood shop. And so it's like cut up pallets that make the box spring, and they're 2 giant sheets of wood on top of support beams and stuff. And dude, they're 2 separate pieces. And I don't know how much they weigh each, but it took 2 people and they were still stupid heavy. And I mean, dude, wood in itself is just freaking heavy, but like I had to get them up and down the stairs. So we took all this furniture that we moved upstairs, and it just destroyed my back. And I wasn't even feeling the after effects until Tuesday of this week, which was stupid. I mean, I don't know if I just strained it and then I did something and it pulled it, but I hopped in the shower and was like, so I said, dude, forget this, man. So the rest of my week has been pretty strenuous, to say the least.
Well,
oh man, sorry to hear.
That's
all good, man.
Dude. As my son would say, I received an alien at the door. As my son would say, I received an alien at the door today. I had ordered a new computer to upgrade my systems, and so I had a nice Alienware computer, which has a giant alien on the front of the screen, and my son wants to push the button, and so so he went to go press it, and I'm like, don't press the button, and he goes and he started walking back like this. He's like, oh, sorry. And
my gosh.
And then he looks at me and he goes, hey, no, don't touch the button. I was like,
I'm assuming it's the power button.
yeah, it's the power button.
Yeah,
so,
Alienware's,
so
but yeah.
all day he walks in and he's like, ooh, alien. So the problem with that is I was setting everything up on the computer, but but I had to unset everything up because everything's for the show is prepped on my laptop. So I just couldn't, it was just too much work to get everything switched over to the new computer by now. I had like 30 minutes. I was like, do I want to make sure the computer works or just the laptop? I was like, I'm just going to make sure the laptop works. Don't stress myself out about it. But yeah, that's why my mic and everything else is jacked. So, because I just plugged it back into my laptop. So, but there you go.
Awesome, man. Congratulations on your new laptop, or your new desktop, rather.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
It's for us, fanciness.
All right, Dontaye, let's hear it.
Yeah, so every so often, my sister, my niece has cerebral palsy, so she have to come up to Atlanta from Columbus to get surgery. And so when she comes up, I'll take my younger niece, and she'll hang out with my daughter. One's 4, the other's 3. And we had a pretty good time today. They were a little upset with me because I took them down to the Capitol where folks are protesting House Bill 531 and Senate Bill 241, which are gonna significantly restrict voting rights. And so I took them up there, and the whole time, folks are chanting, and they're like, everybody's chanting one thing, and they're like, park. I was just like, okay, amen.
Everybody has a reason to protest what they need to protest.
And then we got in the car, and it was like, Daddy, put on some stuff we want to listen to.
Of course.
And it went into Baby Shark, and so I was just like, oh my goodness,
Baby Shark,
Baby Shark, and I mean, they make sure you see the hands. I'm like,
yes.
oh my goodness.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. I really just try to be present. It's just so much going on. That it's like, man, how do I consistently be present and engaged? And sometimes it ends up with me singing Baby Shark for 3 hours.
I'm so sorry, man. Hey, but that's a sacrifice. I'm glad you're making that sacrifice to be there. So
yeah, I appreciate it.
I mean, in their heads, it was like, that's not even enough time. Like,
sure.
You sent them to a crazy
5 hours at minimum
rally and just put him in some steps. It was like, come on, guys, we need some Baby Shark Dad.
Well, I took him to a park today too,
Okay,
and it was
good.
it was interesting. It's my daughter's an only child, so it's like she loves when company comes over, and then when she realizes she has to share dad, it's like I went to push my niece, and I mean she just gave me this look like, and it was like, listen, you got to share daddy, you got to share.
Who do you think you are?
Like, what are you
This is
doing?
mine.
She has a daddy. Let her daddy. And I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm like this little girl here.
I literally can't take my son to any of my events where I'm performing because he can't deal with it. He can't deal with the idea that I'm performing for other kids. Like once I was the library lady knew me and she was like, "Hey, do you want to read a book?" I'm like, "Sure." It did not go well. He stood in front of me in the book and was like, "No, my daddy." I was like, "Bro, get down."
that's like there's two parts to that because you're like, oh my gosh, my son's amazing, and then the other part's like, son, get out of the way. I'm starting to do something right now. Like, I'm in the middle of something.
Be like, bro, just give me a second. The things that they chant to. I remember once I was leaving from the park and my son's like, Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A. I was like, bro, I'm not getting you. Okay, we're getting Chick-fil-A. Let's go. So, yeah, kids are hilarious. So, but anyways, thanks Dontaye for coming on the show, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt. I hope that Trey treats you nice. He can be mean sometimes. So.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not me. I'm a precious penguin. What? It's not even me. Why am I talking?
I don't know.
I've been watching way too much One Piece. They're in the sky realm, and so there's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, come on.
Gotcha. Interesting.
What's up? But anyways, very cool. So one of the things that we talked about, like the theme of the show, is get fueled by faith. Why is that something you thought would be good for the year? Oh, wait.
Before we ask him hardcore questions, let's get into it.
Trey, it's your job. This is your segment.
I know. I just wanted to let you feel it, and you just went through it. And so, I wasn't going to cut you off, but.
You literally have one job for this entire show.
Actually, I have 3.
Okay.
One's to show up, 2's to do the quiz, and 3 is to make that, actually 4, that sweet beat at the end on top of the song. Oh, my.
No, the song I just did to make you happy. You're right. I'm sorry. I apologize. You have 4 things to do, and you forgot one of them.
Hey, well.
It's time for a quiz. I hope you guys are ready.
Let's go.
All right. So basically, everyone knows what this is. It's the quiz against Jason and Dontaye. And it is a quiz about March. Some things funny, some things serious, but let's see how it goes. Dontaye, you are up with the first question. Whoever has the most points at the end wins. First question is, how long does March Madness run this year? Is it A, March 20th through March 30th, B, March 14th to April 5th? Is it C, March 14th to April 2nd, or is it D, March 14th to April 3rd?
I'm going to go in with D as in Dontaye.
Oh, okay. Jason?
I wasn't paying attention, so I'll say A.
All right.
I was trying to fix my mic. Jaime says it sounds terrible.
Dontaye, are you sure that's the answer that you want?
Yeah, I'm going with D.
Dontaye, he's trying to give you the right answer.
So I know you want D for Dontaye.
I'll go C as in Carter.
I would strongly recommend you go for something that the first letter is Barry.
Okay, I'll go with B then.
All right, okay. Are you okay? That's your final answer?
B, final answer.
Awesome. Congratulations, because that's the correct answer.
What?
It's actually
You're so
March
amazing.
14th to April 5th this year. So we are now 0 for 1 right now. Jason obviously has 0 points so far, and that's okay. He can come back. But on to question number 2, Jason, this is yours. Which one of these crazy things actually happened in the month of March? Was it A, there was a national shortage of duck in markets? Was it B, one of our great presidents was framed for leaving a toilet clogged? Was it C, a detachment of 170 Swiss infantrymen accidentally invaded a neighboring Liechtenstein? It's really hard to say. Or is it D, the Queen of England had fallen down the stairs?
Oh man, those are all great. I'm gonna go with C.
Okay, are you sure?
Sure. It
Okay.
feels like Trey wouldn't pick a answer that he couldn't pronounce. If he was making one up, he would be able to pronounce it. So
I'm just going to run through them all again and mispronounce everything. That just to screw you up. Okay, so he's going for C. Dontaye, what do you think? Do you need the options again?
I'm gonna go with B.
Okay. Are you sure about that?
I'm gonna go with A then.
Are you sure about that?
I'm gonna go with C then.
I like that. Because that's the correct answer. So yeah, in 2007, in March of 2007, a detachment of 170 Swiss infantrymen accidentally invaded neighboring Liechtenstein or Stein. And they
Knight's Tale.
Yeah, so they were able. I'm just gonna ignore that. They invaded them, and they were actually given orders to return home because they were given false orders originally. There was a big miscommunication, which is kind of scary if you ask me. So on to the third question. Dontaye, this one is you first. What world record was broken in the month of March? Was it A, the longest time anyone has ever held their breath? Was it B, the most diapers changed in 5 minutes?
Wow.
Was it C, the most cars jumped by a motorcycle? Or is it D, the longest uninterrupted trip to space? Trey's house. Where are you? What?
C sounds like a good answer here.
Yeah, okay. I'm down with that.
You want to wait for me to go, Trey, before you give my answer.
Go ahead, Jason. He went for C.
I'm gonna go with B, the diaper changing situation. Maybe
The most
'cause that's
diapers
my life.
changed.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Okay.
gonna go with.
Dontaye, are you sure you want the answer that you...
Trey, you need a new move. Like,
So
I'll do A.
Let's go A.
I'll do A. A.
Honestly, man, I think D is any
Okay.
other option other than...
Let's go with D.
Oh, okay.
hey, Trey, his name's Dante. It's not D. I don't understand what just happened there.
D is in Dante.
It's his name's. Why are you?
No, it's a... I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
His name,
Jason, I don't know what you're talking about.
His name's Dante. It says it on the screen.
Here's the thing. He got the correct answer,
right
so
there.
congratulations, Dontaye. Yeah, so it was a whole year where an astronaut took an entire trip to space in the national space or the International Space Station. So they spent an entire year uninterrupted and they came back home. So it was the world record for the longest stay in space.
Wow. That's a long time.
So yes.
Too.
Yeah, it is. And that's kind of crazy. What's cool about that is when you come back from being in space, there's several things that happen to your body, and I'm not going to go into it, but gravity on Earth feels weird. Liquids are weird. All kinds of different crazy things that when you come back to Earth where you were born is just, it screws you up. So anyway, so we're finaling our last question.
Here we go.
So, Jason, in March, what is the Day of the Dude? Is it a day where you hang with all the bros? Is it B, National Make a Man Cave Day? No. Is it C, a day that honors the Big Lebowski, or where you take it easy all day? Or is it D, a day where your goal is to finish a 6-pack?
What is it called again?
The Day of the Dude.
Oh yeah, it's C, the Big Lebowski.
Okay. Dontaye?
What was the man cave one? Was that B?
Man Cave one would be great, but it's not the right answer. But yeah,
Yeah,
don't
yes,
think
that
so.
is B. I like Jason's answer, honestly.
Okay, yeah. A day with nothing. I was trying to be different.
well,
You can.
One of the main popular characters in the Big Lebowski is the dude. That's the reason why it works that way. So
Ah.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, congratulations, Dontaye.
Oh, but I did so good.
You are the winner of our quiz.
I did so good.
So Jason actually got 2 questions correct, and Dontaye got all of them correct without any of my help. I was so surprised. Like that was Dude,
Wow.
you did amazing.
He's amazing.
Trey,
Not
thank
only
you
can
so
he
much.
sing an amazing baby shark, he also can get the quiz right once you give him all the right answers.
Yeah. Congratulations. So we got a couple of comments coming through. Dustin saying, "Hey Trey, what's up, Dustin? Thanks for joining in."
Dustin
He's
was
got a
like
whole
straight
bunch.
stalker mode.
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
yeah.
Jaime said, "Hey guys, I just got home."
What's up, Jaime?
Cool.
I mean,
All right, so that's the end of our quiz. Jason, feel free to ask any questions you got at this time.
hey, Dante, I feel like I was going to ask you a question, and then it got derailed for some reason.
Derailed. Yes.
I don't really remember
did.
why. But anyways, so the title of our show is "Get Fueled by Faith." Why do you think that's something people should do for a better year, my man?
Yeah, I just think what you believe is just as important as what you do. I think so often people they get caught up in the profession, and it's okay, I got to do X, Y, and Z to get to this certain point. And for me, it's what am I passionate about? What do I feel like? What do I do that makes me feel like I'm walking in my purpose? And I just think for me. And my little girl just walked in. That's life, though.
Oh, dude, don't worry about
It's
it, man.
okay.
It's totally
Every
fine.
week, my son comes in his diaper. And
Boston's the guest star of our show most weeks. So
Go grab that paper. Go grab that towel. Thank you. But yeah, for me, I think one of the things that really just gets me going is, especially in PR, when I'm dealing with messaging, when I'm dealing with communication, I'm just really big on storytelling and how am I able to tell stories in a way that effectively drives change. And that's one of the things I'm so passionate about. And I think for me, just being able to be at that intersection of passion and purpose and being able to deliver every day in my profession is really what keeps me going. I don't feel like there's a clock in, clock out time. I just, because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And I feel like whenever you're in a position to be able to do these things, it changes everything. I mean, we're in a year where we've got COVID that's running around like crazy. We've got politics. There's suffering, there's hurting. And I think whenever you're able to just be a light, I just think it's something that I fall in love with.
That's awesome, man.
I feel that, man.
Yeah, I think it's important to you're good. I think it's important to have your faith power your stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes people can be like, well, I have a really good job or I have this thing. But I think when you realize that it's not yours in general can actually make it even better. And so that's an amazing thing. I was, as I was reading your story, I was thinking about that because one of the things you mentioned in your bio was that you didn't know PR was a thing you were going to do. Like you were just working for a DA, and then next thing you know, somebody was like, "Hey, dude, you're amazing at this," and you're like, "I am." And can you speak on that for a little bit?
Yeah, it's so funny because I spent so much time in television news media. I started working in the news industry when I was in college. Into my sophomore year, got a great opportunity to work as a video editor. And did that for 6 months. I got good at it. Then I got promoted to being a producer where I'm writing stories and putting the show together. It was just amazing. And so I do this for 10 plus years, working as everything from an executive producer to an anchor. And then, I married this amazing girl and I want to spend more time and I'm trying to find a way to make life work, you know what it is with the news and entertainment industry. It's crazy hours. There's so many things. And so got a great opportunity to go work over at the Fulton County DA's office, largest DA's office in the state of Georgia. And, our tech guy that was hired in at the time, he walks in and he was just like, man, are you looking at these back end numbers? I didn't know anything about insights and back end numbers and all this stuff. And, he's starting to break this stuff down and I'm starting to see that I'm making real impact, and it changes the way I see my ability to tell stories. I think so often in public relations, people think of having that great headline for a great press release, when there are just so many ways that we can really draw people in, and really just being able to tell the stories of the clients and the people that we're working with. And so, I think just being able to see the impact on that scale, it just really changed the way I saw myself and my ability to do my job.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think, as I said, when I read about that, I was like, wow, that's crazy, that you would even get in that spot, because it's like, but again, it shows again faith, right? Because it's like,
Yeah.
that God had your back in that situation. He's like, I got you. I see what you're trying to do. I see you trying to take care of your family. Now let me show you something even cooler about yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm always super encouraged when stuff like that happens, because literally my entire life, anything that's ever been cool, God's hooked me up with it, and I'm like, oh wow, thanks. Even Trey, I can't believe I admitted that he's awesome. But it's like I don't try to like know how things are gonna happen, but then next thing I know, now I have a best friend and somebody I work with every day, and so, but it was just random, and so it's so funny how those things work.
Yeah.
How did you end up? How did you end up focusing on lawyers? Was it because of the DA thing, or was it a different? Was it a different thing altogether?
Yeah, I think that was where, so what I saw in the DA's office is, um, so many lawyers were really missing the mark with telling the stories of their clients. I think that, people have all these, they've got all these thoughts of what attorneys are based upon, the perception of them, and certain things of what we see. But I felt like there was an opportunity, to do some real good there, and I think a lot of it was kind of spurred on, when I was in the DA's office, and there were four young men that were, when I say young, I mean we're talking about between the ages of 4 and 16, and they were on trial
Wow.
for murder. And the victim's mother took the stand and said that, my son came to me in my dreams and said that you've got the wrong people. And
Wow.
it wasn't until that moment where, where anybody really questioned the validity of this crime as it pertains to these young men. And so it really just changed the way, because the defense attorney stood up, and she was just talking about how, she's been saying from the very beginning that, these young men, didn't do it. They couldn't have. And just seeing the prosecutors go back, and they're checking cell phone records, and seeing that, these young brothers weren't there. I think I was just like, for this defense attorney to have done all this work on the front end and know this, yet there was never really, another nobody ever really took those claims serious. It was just like, how do I step over there and really help them to tell these stories in a way that's going to garner the attention it needs? And that is my little girl running through, so I apologize.
Dude, if anybody watches this show regularly, that's normal. They're just like, oh, it's just like, he just is he playing with Scout's kid or two? Is that what's happening? Last week he did a full dance thing during the.
It was hilarious.
Like he did it. If you see right behind me is his bed, and so
Yeah.
you can see his. And I have a big screen with the show, so he can see himself in the camera. So he just started dancing in his diaper. And it's just like just partying. It was so. I
He was
just
popping
laughed.
off. It was
Somebody
funny.
was talking seriously, and I just started laughing. And they're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Look." I was like, this guy. He's just like his dad, a giant ham. But yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I think that is amazing, and so it's interesting because, you were on the DA side, so but you saw that and you were like, wow, this person really should look at the stories to be able to tell them correctly or to even tell them at all, and I see that as an important thing because yeah, you're right. If that story's not told right, then people totally can assume things that aren't a thing, and so it makes sense how it works.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, what's that?
no, I mean, and we've had so many, I mean, especially recently with just
Oh, yeah.
so many eyes on criminal justice reform. We've seen so many people who've been falsely accused and went to prison for crimes they didn't commit.
Oh, sure.
And so with the DA's office they yield so much power. They have the resources. but that power also has to be held accountable,
Yeah.
and you have to ensure that people who are investigating these cases, that they have the right people, because I mean that was one of the things that my team and I, we were hired on to help the victims in the R. Kelly case,
Okay.
and that was one of the things that we really focused on, is like their power and wealth cannot omit you from prosecution,
Yeah.
and so that was one of the things that, with us raising awareness about these crimes, well, let me say these alleged crimes, because it hasn't been a conviction yet, but that was the whole intent there, is because and essentially what you had here was a sex trafficking ring. But
Wow.
if you're not looking at it through the right lens, and you're not able to piece this case together in an effective light, then you miss it. You just think that nothing is going on, and you've got to have that evidence and that information, and it's been the same, like my team and I, we were hired on to help out with the Ahmaud Arbery case, and raising awareness about that. And so, it's essential that you piece together what has happened, and you make it plain, because I think the clearer it is, of you showing what has factually happened, the easier it is to say, okay, wow, we really, in terms of the prosecution, we really need to come in and investigate. Whereas we've had another case where we had there was a guy who was accused of driving his car into a house. Well, he drove his car into a house, ended up hitting a 6-year-old. It was all over Network National, and we were
Wow.
called in to kind of help out with that. And the guy was saying, the time that he ran into the house, he was actually being carjacked, and at the point of him being carjacked, he was actually fighting the guy that got into his car, and that's when he crashed into the house. Well, everybody was saying, "Oh, that's not what happened. Look at the video; he just crashes." But nobody looked at surveillance from down the street, where you can see the guy, coming to the car, and then we DNA tested the steering wheel, and at the time where the vehicle hit the house, it wasn't his DNA over his steering wheel, so he couldn't have been the one driving the car, which supported the
Wow.
fact that he was fighting somebody in this car. And so, it's those things that we've got to piece these cases together, because it's if you're not looking at these cases in context, lives can be ruined. And so I really do, I take it not really personally, but I just want to come in and ensure that I play a role in helping out to balance out the scales of justice.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, that's super serious, but I need to ask a stupid question real quick.
Go ahead.
Is now, was it really awkward at first when you started doing this? And you're like, "Hey, what up, old boss? I'm gonna make your life difficult now."
I was just like, man, but it's so funny, because like I remember, like right before I decided to go out on my own, he called me into his office, because I was just like, he was like, "Look, man, I'm not getting the same Dontaye. Like, I just feel like you just kind of hit this wall. What's going on with you? If you feel like you can't do this anymore, I mean, I can take your resignation. I just, what's going on here?" And it was tough, because it was, after I saw, like, for me, this wasn't like watching When They See Us or Central Park 5 documentary. Like, this is like me in the
I
rooms
mean,
when all this
you
stuff
were a
is
part
happening.
of you were a part of the fight.
Exactly.
And you were on the wrong end.
Yeah. And so when you see something, it just took so much out of me. And I just remember just asking myself, like, how do you go back to work after this? How do you go? I mean, these kids were, in between the ages of 14 and 16. I mean, you go down for murder. I mean, maybe after they serve 25 years in prison, they'll come up for parole. You know what I'm saying? Because even if it's a murder charge, you'll still be able to come up. But it's like, you've spent the vast majority of your life behind bars. There's no coming back from that. You've essentially become
Your
institutionalized.
life's done.
Yeah. So, it took a lot out of me. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
like I was there, and I was a part of this.
Dontaye, I really appreciate what you do, man, because like it's really it's a breath of fresh air because there's I mean, we all know this, but like what goes on the news, you believe immediately.
Yeah.
If it's on the TV, if it's on Google, whatever, if it's in, so like I've been getting, on mobile apps, for Google, it'll have these little like cliff notes or whatever, where it's just like bits of information in their news, like breaking news or whatever. So you have to believe it. It's like, no, you don't, because you don't know the whole story. You just know what the news and the media has put in front of you. So for you to go and literally, your job is to clear the muddy water and to actually get in there and to make sure people are doing their job like that. That's just a breath of fresh air in my mind, because then people can be at ease. And I know it must be hard just probably having friends that are against your, I guess, what you're doing. Or, I mean, not necessarily friends, but like people in the workspace that are like, no, this isn't actually what happened, or whatever. I don't even know. I assume that there's people that are in the public eye that are against you. And that must be hard. Like, I don't know what that's like.
It was hard starting off. It was almost, when I first started, it was like, man, I want to do the work, but I don't want anybody to see me do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm passionate about it. I want to do it, but I don't want anybody to know that I'm doing it. And it got to a point like, there's a case now here in Atlanta involving a young man that was shot by police. And it literally took them 8 months to release the video. Wow. And, they told the story that he was shooting at police, which is why they shot him. Then they said, oh, no, he didn't shoot at police. He just pointed a gun at police. Then they said, oh, he didn't point a gun. He brandished it. So the story just kept changing. Meanwhile, the family's just saying, just release the tape. Just release the tape. Just release it. Let us see it for ourselves. And so they didn't let us see it until they presented the case to a civil grand jury. So the thing about the civil and the criminal grand jury is, a civil grand jury, the grand jury can say, we think you should do X, Y, and Z. Like we think you should pursue charges, or we think you shouldn't. Well, but this wasn't a civil case. This was a criminal case. And so you look at the case and for a DA, you say, okay, what charges would apply to what happened? And you put that case before a criminal grand jury, where they make this decision of, did this officer violate his oath of office? Is this murder? Like, how do we categorize this and proceed? Or, I mean, it essentially comes down to, we're going to indict him or we're not going to indict him. Like, period. Well, they didn't do that. It was kind of a back way out. And so they did that. And, I hadn't seen the tape at the time. And so I'm kind of trying to message with one hand behind my back, because I haven't seen it. Then I see the tape. And you see that the kid never pointed a gun. I mean, the sad part is you can't tell what's in his hand. Sure. They said it was a gun, but you can't tell. What you can see is that everything happened so fast that nobody. At that
point, it didn't matter.
And so it's sad, because I've been at this young man's grave with his mother. I've been there with his father. Wow. I mean, me and his father have had discussions where he just broke down. And I was I was listening to the interviews the other day, as I'm preparing my PR strategy, and the GBI, which is a state board that investigates the case, he asked the officer, did he point the gun at you? And he said, well, it was he was running, and he had I saw a gun in his hand as he was running, and I thought that he was going to shoot back like this as I'm running. And I was like, that is so weird. And so the investigator went on to ask him, well, did you see the muzzle of the gun? He said, no, I didn't see it. He said, did you see the young man's finger on the trigger? He said, no, I didn't see it. And it came down to the question, well, what did you see? And that's when he just kept saying, well, I just thought as he was running away, he was going to shoot back like this. And so when the DA and the prosecutors came out and they did their press conference, they said that the police were in front of Vince as he was running away. There were a bunch of police in front. Well, there were no police in front. Everybody was behind them, which clearly shows that they were running away. And so, there's nothing legally that says you can shoot somebody when they're running away, and there was nothing in front of him but wooded area. So it wasn't like he was running into a subdivision or into a store. And so, It's like, and when you see the social media comments, and they're like, "Oh, why can't this kid be held accountable for having a gun?" And it's like, well, he would have been held accountable had he been arrested. I mean, and taken into custody. And so, at the end of the day, you know, he was accused of having a gun in his hand. You know, uh, Georgia's an open carry state. It's very few homes that you're going to go to where somebody doesn't have a gun in their house. And so I think we've really gotta evaluate these things and really look at them. And it changed. So, and one of the reasons why I look at these cases differently is because when I was in the DA's office, we had a ton of these cases coming in, and I saw a lot of the evidence before it ever went public. I listened to the prosecutors discuss back and forth about how they were going to handle these cases. And I remember the DA said one time, he said, this stuff was happening so much, I had to go back and look at the law. And he was like, y'all know what I found? And they were like, what did you find? He said, well, I found that laws around policing there hadn't been substantial change to them since 1940.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
when you look at that, what's happened since 1940? I mean, you had the civil rights movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, there have been so many different movements that have taken place since 1940, and so much of that has, of course, included how police have handled these things. And so, I just think that it's when you're dealing with an infrastructure that hasn't been updated, because you've got to update these things. I mean, that's why they're always reviewing laws. What laws do we need to change? What laws do we need to update? 100 years ago, it was illegal, in some states for you to live with somebody that wasn't your spouse, or for you to fornicate. And so, you have to consistently look at these laws and make sure that they're inclusive, and that they represent all the people and that make up this great nation.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
yeah.
Really quick, Jason, before you continue, I'd like to get to these comments.
You mean
So mainly
starts?
Jaime, and not hey Jaime. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, dude. So first off, he says, "Love that shirt, DJ. Thank you so much, repping Venom."
Oh yeah.
I love this shirt. I've actually had this shirt for a very long time. And then he's saying, Dontaye is one of my heroes. Hearing him speak, I'm learning new things tonight. He says,
thanks,
dang, well, I'll get to that question here in a second, actually. Dontaye, you inspire me. Like, I wish I could be a mini you where I am. I don't have the same atmosphere as you, but I would love to serve the way you do. What are some ways and things I can do to be like you professionally?
Man, I think the biggest thing is just figuring out what your passion is. Like, for me, my passion is storytelling. And so at that point, it's like, well, how can I use my ability to tell stories to change the world around me? What are the stories that I can tell? One of the things, I remember one of the attorneys I work with. So at crossover day, whereas when the bills cross over from the Georgia House to the Georgia Senate, I brought my little girl with me. He was like, man, you sure you want to bring your daughter here for this? We don't know how things are going to go. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. But, for me, it was about the message that having my little girl there sends. She's 3 years old. And Scout, that's the picture you put up. We're sitting on the steps there at in the Georgia Capitol. And she's looking up at the cameras and she's pointing to them, but she's the reason why. She's the purpose, the passion, and the why behind what I do. And so I wanted that to be reflective, and that was the questions that people has of why was it important. Well, it's important for her to be here because what is done this month while they're in session is going to directly impact her. It's not just impacting me, it's directly impacting her. She's only 3 years old, and by the time she feels the effects of what happened, it's going to be 15 years from now. And I just want her to know that when she looked back that, man, my daddy stood up for me when I didn't even know what was going on, when I didn't know how my rights were going to be impacted. And so, I think that's huge. And so I think it's not really, I think so often people get caught up in the big things you can do, But it's like, no, let's bring it down to a micro level, and let's bring it down to the people level. And I think the more, like, even if it's just one person, the more that you can impact the people, I think that's where the change is going to be. I had a meeting with some of the activists, and I mean, they included, lawyers and everybody. And, one of the things that, I wanted to end the meeting with is, I want you to know how much I love you all, the heart, the time, the talents that you are given to make this world a better place, for people that you know and some that you don't know. And I mean, for me, that's what speaks volumes.
Well, yeah,
That's awesome, man. Thank you. Appreciate
you
that.
got any more comments? Are you good, Trey?
I'll do one more. Let's see.
Excuse me,
There was one. Yeah, he says, "Dang, Dontaye, do you feel like you've ever been too involved with your clients?"
Oh man, I feel that way all the time.
Yeah.
And but I mean, I just carry a lot. It's hard. I think, and that's what's made me an effective storyteller is just being able to understand what makes them tick, is spending time with them. And so I always feel like I'm too involved. They used to tell me as a reporter I was too involved, but I think it's just the way I'm wired with how much that I care. I think that's what just changes. I mean, like the other day, I was I was up all night, like looking through the police reports and watching the video. But it's, I care. I want the best outcome, and I want to know that, when I lay it all out there, that it's laid out there. Because I mean, there have been times where this thing has gone the other way for me, and it took so much out of me, and just wondering, man, did I do enough? Did I do enough? And it's just like, man, and then you enter this appeal phase, and that's hard because we all know how long that can drag out.
Yeah.
He just said, "You were a reporter." He actually
wasn't.
he came in a little later, so yeah.
Yeah.
Catch it on the rerun.
Yeah. Watch the replay, Jaime. Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's amazing, and again, I think it's interesting how you how long. When did you start doing the PR stuff?
Man, almost starting over at the DA's office, it was probably 2014. And then
wow.
2 years after that, I decided to step out on my own.
Yeah, and I
so
bet from 2016 to now, you were like, "Whoa, I didn't expect this to happen."
I didn't, and it's so funny because when I got to the DA's office, everybody would say, "You're not going to be here long."
Oh,
They
wow.
said, either you just kind of just conform and you just go on the rabbit wheel, or you're out. And he just said, it just seemed like there was just so much more passion there. And I just think, again, I think at the end of the day, I just want to be like Jesus. I look
Amen.
at, what is it,
Somebody
Matthew
better praise him.
25. Yeah, Matthew 25, and it talks about, when you were there for the hungry, where you visit them in prison. And it's like, when we talk about prison here in our country, it just seems like, oh, those are so bad people. Just lock them up, throw away the key, don't even think about them. When it's like, man, man, Jesus has a heart for them too. And so, I want to be able to.
You're still human.
Yeah. And just bring the humanity back to the stories, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned him often, my friend Saul Paul, he's a felon, he's in prison, and now this dude makes one of the biggest changes I know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He now changes people's lives on a daily basis. And, but he was in prison. That doesn't make him a bad guy. You know what I mean? He made a bad decision, and now he's changing the game for people that are in prison or in all of these things. And it's like getting to be a part of it and seeing it happen in real life. It's just insane, because it's like, yeah, and I grew up with parents that were cops, and I definitely can have that thought process that, oh, everybody's bad. But then as I got bigger, I realized that doesn't how it work. I went to jail. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we don't see the opportunity until we're given that. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's interesting how it works. But as I said, I've seen it. I've gotten to go to juvenile detention centers and talk to kids and see those things because of that, and because of this man that said, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be chained by this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to, I always laugh because he's like, I'm making crazy money because nobody would hire me.
Yeah.
I had to hire myself. And then he's hiring a white dude that definitely has no felony record, but
it's fun because it's like, it's an opportunity to change people's lives, and if you see that, you do it, and I think that's amazing. I do have another silly question. Do you, as you do this and get really good at it, is there ever that temptation that you're gonna go like do PR for somebody that's gonna actually pay you extremely good money?
Man,
I mean, I'm just wondering because it seems like your passion to tell the stories is what holds you down. But I assume if you're really good at your job, people are gonna want you to work for them.
And I've already had people, that have, been ready to put down some pretty big checks, and I've had to leave those checks on the table, and
Wow.
and I think it really comes down to, why am I doing this and who's it going to impact, and I think money can always be the temptation, but for me it's coming back to that understanding and the root of just why I'm doing this, like, because I don't look at this like, even when I take on the police case, I'm not looking at this like, oh, I'm like, I hate cops. No, it's like I'm not pro police or pro criminal. I'm pro justice, and for me, it comes down to justice and doing it because it's the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where my mindset is, like even the case I was telling you all with Vincent Truitt, when the video first dropped, I had one of my friends who's a cop, and he said, man, I just sent this video to 35 other cops, and only one cop said it's a 34 other cops, just because they sent it to a quote unquote grand jury, because it wasn't the criminal one, it was a civil one. And so like even that gave me perspective and allowed me to see, okay, we're on the right track here, because he's not reaching out and calling me if he didn't have concerns about just what happened. And he said, just to let you know, like there was only one officer that felt like it was a justified shooting. 34 other officers were like, yo, that dude needs to be off the force. Something's wrong. And so, again, that gave me perspective. I keep telling folks, folks are like, oh, sometimes they'll go like, oh man, there you go bashing the police. And I'm like, y'all do realize I can't do what I do without having context. And I get the context from police, and so there is.
I've worked for the police too, right? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, there's a balance. So it's always interesting.
Yeah, I feel that.
No, dude, I am so encouraged to talk to you and to see your faith and the way that you run on it. Like, as I said, that's why I even asked that question, because I already know the answer, right? I don't need to say. I mean, I saw a picture of you and Kaepernick in your things, and I was just like, yeah, that's dope. Like, you, again, in 2016 though, you weren't thinking, oh, I'm going to be doing a lot of this.
Yeah,
you were just thinking, oh, well, this seems to be something I'm going to be doing, and then 2019, 2020 happens, and it's like, oh, I'm going to be busy.
Yeah, and last year I was, I mean, when I tell you I was just like, man, but again, it's because it's so funny because I actually had a conversation with the PR guy that had the Trayvon Martin case, and he was just like, man, I don't know how you do this at this level, and what I was trying to convey to him, because he was just like, look, I just feel like you're giving too much to it. Like, get a check, move on to the next thing. Like, just move on. And I told him, I said, what's happening right now, with things were so teetering last year, like there were kids that I mentored that I saw on CNN in the middle of downtown Atlanta when things were burning. And I knew at that moment that, like, I got to leave the comfort of my home. I got to get down there because these kids are in pain. I gotta reach them. Like, for me, that's what leaders do, right? They understand that there's a need for you to be in a certain place at a certain time. It's sometimes you just can't plan this stuff. It's not like, oh, I'll wait till tomorrow and host a press conference. It's like, no, they need me there tonight. I got to get out there and touch some folks. We got to pray. We got to do whatever we need to do to allow this healing. And what I wanted him to understand is, there are a lot of people hurt, and it's not just Black people. Like right now, Black people, of course, want justice, but it's so many people that are impacted by wrongdoing and injustice. And so, you have to have those people in place that help to balance out the scales. And if this is what God has called me to do, then, I'm going to wear it with a badge of honor. I think about the story of Esther and that conversation that Mordecai had with her. And he told her that you alone can save your people. And at that time, women didn't have rights. She wasn't even supposed to go and see her husband, the king. But she found a way to get in front of him. She found a way to ensure the survival of her race of people. And
Wow.
I believe that God raises us up and he puts us in positions so that we can do those things. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to wake up and feel like I heard God tugging at my heart and I decided, no, I'm not going to do that, God. That's an uncomfortable place to be in, because I've had brothers, black and white, that have come to me at my church and said it made them feel uncomfortable. But the reality is, I live in one of the wealthier parts of not just Atlanta, but America.
Sure.
Education is top 10, real estate top 10. It's all these things. And I think it's easy for me to get comfortable where I am instead of seeing the bigger need, and seeing the world outside of my neighborhood, and I've reached a place where I'm considered privileged. Like, that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
And I think, God is using just where I am to impact a much greater scale. And so I want to be able to do that. And I want to be able to have the heart to continue to do that.
That's awesome, man.
That's
Like I
awesome,
said,
man.
This has been a really fun conversation. Trey, do you have any last questions you would like to ask Dontaye? Ask Dontaye. No.
Anyway,
Listen to that.
no, man. I mean, I just really enjoyed you on the show tonight. It was just really cool to get a fresh new guest and a fresh new look on things. And I don't know, man. I just really appreciate what you do because, like I said before, I mean, the media is so corrupt. I mean, like it is. And I know there's good news and there's bad news and there's mediocre news and then there's mixed news. But like at the end of the day, like I think if 50% of the world actually read into what was happening or did their own research, there would be a much broader view of what is actually going on.
It's so
in
true.
this day. And I mean, I feel that not even in America, I feel like in the world. I mean, I know that there's communism and all these different things that people don't get that opportunity and they just do what they're told.
Yeah.
But we have freedom here in America to do that, to do the research, to question the police force, to question things that are going on, to question all these different things that are happening. And we have that freedom to do that. I just wish more people did that because I want to be informed. I don't want to. I don't want to support someone and then realize, oh yeah, they just had this whole drug trafficking ring going on in the background, and that's why they're so rich, and no one knows that's why they're famous and what. It's like, oh my god, like what? No, heck no, I don't want that. So I just really appreciate what you do, man. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate y'all having me on the show. It's been a blast.
Of course, man.
Well, Trey, I think it's that time.
Ooh, what time are we talking about?
I think it's time for you to admit that your favorite cartoon in the whole entire world is My Little Pony.
That is actually the last thing I would say as far as my favorite cartoon.
Okay.
I would say a close is Samurai Jack from Cartoon Network. But I think he's talking about... Hold on. Let me get it.
His sound so weird. Here it goes.
It's time for question of the day.
Awesome. So we got a question over here from Twitter. Per usual, at Mr. Green God.
Who we need to get on the show. One of us needs to call that guy.
I need to reach out to him.
And just be like, we know you're super famous for putting stuff on the internets, but could you come on our show and please?
There's several of these I want to use, but what?
Well, you use one every week, so just bookmark it, bro. Gosh.
What is the holy grail of your life?
Oh, good night. All right. Now we got to stop here. I would say we all are gonna have the same answer, so we need to just say together. We all would, God, of course, would be.
I was gonna say pizza.
First
dang
answer.
it! I thought we were all in the right mindset. Gosh, dang! I thought we were sharing some thoughts. I'm just kidding.
So, but instead of
it is God for sure.
Yeah, but now
all
that
brothers
we've all
here.
said that out loud, now we can give a silly answer. Feel good about that.
The holy grail of my life.
That's a hard one.
Man, taking a fat deuce at the end of the day, man. I
Wait,
swear. Just
That's every day. No.
so I'm sorry I got really crazy, but like it's just the most relaxing thing. You are by yourself, you're away from people, you can pop on YouTube and just chill and just lose some weight. You know what I'm saying? Just de-stress. Like it doesn't matter. So that's
Trey, do you have any kids?
I
He
don't.
does
Oh, that's why.
He doesn't
My kid will come in
understand.
there.
Yeah,
My kid
no.
will come in and watch YouTube with me. You know, it's
Yeah.
like this is just uncomfortable. It's like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my dude will like come in and tell me why I can't poop right now. I'm like, no poop.
No,
poop,
I need
Daddy.
to eat. I need to eat
I'm
right
like-
now.
I'm like, bro, why is your snack in here? Like, don't bring your snack.
Jaime says, I'm sorry, Dontaye Carter.
yeah, she'll come in. Dad, what you watching?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Baby
poop.
Shark.
And then,
Baby
and then
Shark.
those times when
Just
you
take
like,
my phone. Just take my
where I'm
phone.
like,
Get out.
you know
Just
what?
take it.
I'm gonna close the door and just give me 5 seconds. Nope, never works.
No.
It's like I close the door, 5 seconds later, doom, 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 doom. Daddy, are you leaving me, Daddy? Blah, blah,
Oh
blah,
my
blah.
gosh.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, just open the door, dude. Just open the door. I'm sorry for closing.
Jaime says, I'm sorry, Dontaye Carter.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
gets
sorry because
rough.
I'm being completely real. So
Yeah, I mean, it used to be. I mean, Trey, what you said used to be an all-time favorite. You know,
Sure.
get off of work. You know, it's like take off all your clothes, just kind of get comfortable, and
Yeah.
you know, kind of loosen up. And it's like, you know, you got a book, or you got your, you know, you're reading articles online, all this stuff. You know, it was fantastic. And then you know, your kid learns to walk, and they're like,
oh man.
This is terrible.
boom, boom,
Yep.
boom, knock, knock, knock. Dad, what you doing? I want to come in. I'm like, yo.
I don't want you to come in. Yeah. Yeah, that's rough. I know. I live that life. So, wow. Really, Trey.
This one's even better.
Where's the Sonic one? Sorry.
The Sonic.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. One of my son's favorite YouTube ones is SFPD, and then it's like Sonic, and he's like, whatever, forget it. I don't know.
Show me later. I have no idea what you're talking
You know
about right
your
now.
face. I don't know.
What about you, Jason? You're supposed to answer the question.
Okay. Holy Grail. Dante, do you have one? Because I don't have one yet.
I think he said the same as me.
Yeah.
No.
Unless you have
used to
something
be
different.
It used to be a great time. You know, you just kind of.
Okay.
I'll stay with that one. It was a beautiful time. Pre-baby.
Holy Grail, the thing that I really want all the time. Yeah, you know what? I'll be honest with you right now. You know, be dope is to just go to a Chinese buffet.
Oh my.
And
never
after that,
realized
where are
how-
you gonna end up?
Oh no! That's what I'm saying. Like in the toilet. But when's the last time I did that? That was like
Bro,
2
that's
years
not
ago?
okay, man. The Chinese buffet just
But, like,
dude, I couldn't tell you the last time I was actually in a buffet because of the
that's what I'm telling
pandemic.
you. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm telling you. This is why it's a thing. Like it's like or going to the movies. Two of my favorite things to do.
Why
that
not
I-
both?
Yeah, well, might as well at this point.
That's a good night right there.
There's no place open. Like I laugh because I live right beside a Panda Express. That line, there's like 50 cars in that drive-through every single day.
Panda Express isn't even that good.
Well, and my wife goes, I don't understand. And I go, honey, think about this. How many times have we been to a buffet? And there's like 100 people in the buffet. Well, those people can't go to the buffet anymore, so they're at Panda Express.
Oh
Yes, it's not
my
good,
gosh.
but it's the drive-through, so it makes sense. I mean, that's what it is.
Here, really quick side tangent. Panda Express is probably as American Asian fast food as you can get. Now,
Sure.
Chinese buffets are close, but Panda Express is not even. I don't know. There's some things that are appetizing, but it's just like I could go somewhere else and get something more authentic.
I 100% agree. You can get a more authentic American Chinese meal somewhere else. I understand.
No, I mean actual Asian cuisine.
Well, no, don't start me. Okay, all right. Tell me your favorite 2 dishes from a Chinese restaurant, and I'm going to tell you both of them are not
From a Chinese restaurant or
Yes, or
from
an Asian
Shrimp fried rice, shrimp lo mein.
Okay, nice.
from a Vietnamese restaurant is
whatever. That's what I was going to say too.
it's pho. It's pho.
Yeah, fine.
And then I would say you said what?
You're a jerk.
What? You said Chinese, but I was like, well,
no, I know.
And then I don't know, chicken fried rice.
Yeah, whatever. Forget that. This was a good point at first when we started. So, all right. Well, at this point, Trey, get off the microphone and work on a beat, please.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you.
I could just use one that's in the queue, but I'll make one.
Oh,
new.
we could do that too. It's fine. If we're ready to go, we are.
I'm ready to go.
Dante's crazy right now. What's happening?
What is
Dante? Is there?
I just heard about the beat. I was like, drop the beat.
Drop that beat. All right, Dante. Is there anything that we talked about that you want to make sure is in the rap song today?
Man, I just want the world to know how much I love pickles and grits.
That's a thing?
Pickles and grits, man.
Interesting. I love grits. I didn't know pickles and grits was a thing.
Pickles and grits.
I think you're speaking to my man Jaime's heart because he loves pickles.
Pickles and grits.
Interesting.
It sounds like he's gonna. All right, hey, Dante, you're gonna join me on the rap today?
I'll join you. I'll join you.
Ooh,
You toss it to me. I don't know how good I'm gonna be. You know,
it's okay.
I
mean,
was-
again, the best part is the show ends with Trey trying to rap, and so whatever
It's
you
singing.
do is still
It's
gonna
not
be better
rapping.
than Trey. So it really doesn't matter.
So we talked about PR,
yeah.
pickles and grits apparently, taking fat deuces at the end of the day.
oh my gosh.
Kids,
Yeah, we talked about
justice. What else? What else, Jason?
Yeah, we talked about being an example for your kids and showing them the
yeah.
stuff that you've actually gone through. You're gonna make me do a serious rap and then end with poop. Thanks, guys. This is really great.
I don't even know how this is gonna go for me, man.
Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work as a song, guys. Y'all are terrible people.
Well, it's okay.
I know how to rap along, but I'm excited. It's something different.
Trey's Jaime's extremely excited about you rapping at this point.
Pickles and grits. Yeah, pickles and
He
grits.
said, "Wait, what? What's going to happen?" He said,
Pickles and
"Oh
grits.
my gosh, I love pickles."
That's right.
Yeah,
My man,
that's
what's
my
his
favorite
best
part
made
about
pickles?
barbecue restaurants is when they have like 6 or 7 different pickles that they made. So good.
So, Jason, you might want to turn up your mic for this portion.
Okay,
Just a little bit more.
Well, I realized the reason my mic was all whack earlier is because it was down so I could rap because I turned you up, and
gotcha.
I forgot. But yeah.
All right. Well, so okay. He just left. See you later, Jason. One sec.
Scout's like, peace, man.
I think
I'm out.
he might have disconnected his video camera or something. I don't know. Let me get this brand out of our face.
Oh, there I am. I fixed it.
What happened?
I was trying to turn off my mic, and then next thing I turned off everything.
Oh, well, as long as you're back. So, Dante, do you have a stage name or anything you want to go by? You could just totally be Dante.
So, if I was a rapper,
Yeah.
Yes.
D Money. I like the sound of D Money, right?
Money. Let's
Yeah,
get it.
let's get it.
Okay.
Let's
Jason, you ready?
get it.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yo, we got DJ Sound Effects, Scout the Summits, and D Money on the mic. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Okay. You might want to turn that up a little, Trey. Okay, here I go again. We talk about fueled by faith. I give it friends said fueled by faith. You got to roll down. Everybody doing what they doing right now. Come on, fueled by faith every day. I do what I was doing only if I can't rearrange the game. And I know sometimes I'm sitting here and try like I'm listening to Dante talk about his life. And it was chilling at the DA, realizing that stories needed to be told. And hey, so we started it. Even though on the opposite angle, looking for the people, now he has to make it mangle, and he gets it through. He keeps it done true. He does what he's doing, and he's not afraid to do what he says. Talking the truth of the people that nobody will let speak, and they got to be equal and break it down.
Do what they is feeling it now. I break it through. Now I'm looking for the things in it. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy when you think about this world right now. People need to be spoke forward, feeling it now and not fall down, not get up, but get up strong. Make it back. Come on, fill it back and overcome. Bass drums, melodies, and we see. And yes, he could be making some money from Mega B. Maybe some cash money records only if they go through saying, I need some PR for you. That's true, but no, not this dude. He's like, I'm gonna be taking care of people that really need my help. G, stop down, top down, looking like an elegant situation. Now I'm not a bachelor, but I'm pelican. Only if I got my son dancing in the background. He's not doing that now because he's sleeping. Oh, how, when, and where? Now I'm staring right this. You want me to reminisce like my life I never spit? I like pickles and grits. I never go. Dante, tell me about that. And now I got the show.
Oh.
Hey, where's your rap?
Go Dante, go Dante, go Dante, go Dante.
I gotta catch the beat, y'all. It's been a minute. You stopped the beat.
Trey,
Why
just
did
do a beatbox. Go.
I don't know why it stopped.
Pray, Trey, just be a rapper. All right, Dante.
I got my man Trey on there hitting the beats. Hey, hey, hey. Speaking truth to power, just like the king in his prime. Time is all I got when I sit back on this rhyme and I'm on this show with Scout, DJ, and we doing our thing. And I'm like, hey, where the party at? I'm up on the show where they all be at. Yo, my name is Dante, and I don't know what to say, but I'm gonna go all day like,
Hey,
oh,
that's so
get it.
dope, out of control. Dante's like this, he still don't even know what he do, if he go. And Trey's
There we
doing
go.
the po-po, sitting in the diet like this, he got the do do a lot. I don't even stop, looking for my people like I gotta break a pop lock. Only if I can't drop. Now you want me to get it, cause you know you're in the bathroom and you're seeing the Holy Grail is spitting. Don't even know what's going on, bro. But he doesn't have kids yet, so he does not know that your kids are like, yo, what are you doing, Daddy? You're like, I'm going my poo-poo. Please let me pee-pee. Not sure what I'm doing if you can't go down. You can never stand up, because that's weird right now. So you're always sitting in the toilet like you're a mom and never breaking for the life, and you see in it some. But it's dope, out of control. I think sometimes I know. And if I still can't let them go, I gotta grow out of this. I feel that I could be, only if I knew that I got to break it down me. Anything else I forgot about this rap song? Only if I can't unslot and undo all the things I do. Now I know I'm cool, only if I keep it down true. Everybody clap your hands, you dance around. Everybody clap your hands and dance around. Everybody clap your hands and dance around. Here we go, here we go, here we go now.
I caught my throat there at the very end. I was like,
Oh man, but you did that, man. You did.
That was dope, man. I appreciate it. That was sick.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
made
was
Trey
trying.
actually
I
work.
was. Look,
Yeah.
Scout, I just appreciate you coming in where I was sliding, because I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna hit this next line.
Yeah.
When my brother came in, I was like, you know, that was like when Eli Manning had threw that ball up in the Super Bowl when they were
Yeah,
playing
and
the
homie just
Patriots.
catches it with his
He
helmet.
caught it like this.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you did, bro. You know what I'm saying? You kept the game alive.
I wanted to sound like you're welcome, instead of saying, you know, I do that for 5-year-olds all the time.
Oh my god.
But yeah.
Oh,
We,
man, I
all
had
right,
a blast.
Let's
that,
give this
Trey?
man his plug.
All right. So is there anything you want to plug, Dante?
Yeah, I mean, look, you know, y'all can keep tabs on me. I'm on social media, PR_Carter03 on Instagram, Dontaye Carter on Facebook, Dontaye Carter on Twitter, you know, and we try our best to keep folks informed, and that's what we're doing. Oh, and you know, Carter Media Group for the business stuff, but yeah,
Yeah, go to the website. Check it out.
Dope shit, guys,
CarterMedia.net.
man.
Yep.
Dude, thank you so much for being on the show, man. I
Yeah,
had a
thank
great
you all
time.
for the love. I appreciate it.
We hope you had a great time.
Oh, I had a blast.
And, you know, for all the people that listen to Dante and think, man, I really need a new website, make sure you go to...
Come on, Jason. Go ahead.
Make sure you go to nomadweb.design for an amazing chance to get an amazing website from a real designer, but not going through the normal places that you would. Instead, you're getting a great site with 24
hour access to the designers. Go to nomadweb.design. Get yourself a website. Become as professional as Flows4u, especially right now. They need bopping the microphone. They made our website, flows4u.com. Make sure if you want a website, nomadweb.design. This is why we only have one sponsor.
The freaking heck, man. If you guys want to be in the show, feel free to hit us up at flows4u.com. We have a message board right there that you can send us direct messages. If you want to have your question today be on the show, hit us up. Send us your question, and we will have it on the show. As goofy as it is, the goofier the better. And if you want to be on the show, please feel free to hit us up. That's all I got.
Yep. You can always send us an email at flows4upod@gmail.com. And again, we think you're awesome. We appreciate. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast once I put it up, and make sure you do all those things. Click like on this on the Facebook, and make sure you know when we're new stuff on. If you're on Twitch, make sure you say what's up. We really appreciate all the people that watch the show. Y'all are amazing. Again, thank you so much, Dante, and thank you, Trey, for doing something, whatever you do.
Apparently, I do a lot of work. I don't know. Apparently not. I don't know.
So now, Dante, it's that time of the show that we're all looking forward to. You're going to give Trey 3 words. Trey's going to turn it into an amazing song that you will be laughing at because it's great. So give Trey 3 any words. Doesn't matter what they are. I know poop is probably going to be in there. So whatever you want to do, use 3 words. Give them to Trey. Trey's going to make up a song.
They can be as difficult as they need them to be. Yep.
You ready? 3 words.
Ready
Pickles and grits.
Wow.
Oh, pickles and grits.
I do need to make an announcement.
Separate words.
To one person that's in the comments right now, the reason your question never makes the question of the day because you do not send us an email. You send us an email at flows4upod@gmail.com. You would be the only person to put a question in for question of the day, and we would be legally obligated to use your question, Jaime Pena. I'm just telling you, you can't ask questions in the comment section and expect to use that as the question of the day. I'm just saying, all you have to do is send us an email or go to our website, flows4u.com, and put the question in there because nomadweb.design made an amazing website that allows us to interact with you. So please put that in. You're amazing. Oh, it does not. No one checks Twitter.
Gosh. Scout, that's pineapples. That's pineapples.
Pineapples. JP Pineapples is always in the place to be.
Hi, mate. Please send us anything, and we'll totally have it on the show, man. I love you. Jason hates you, but we're just gonna move forward. I'm just kidding.
Do you know I interact with Jaime more than you do, buddy? You work with the guy.
Do you though?
I feel like I have a message to that guy every single day. Every single day.
I'm not gonna go there. All right. So anyway, you said pickles and grits. Give me one more word.
Pickles
isn't a word.
And
nope.
Yeah, I'm gonna have pickles and grits in there, but give me another word.
Pineapples.
Perfect. Okay.
That'd be a word meal.
I hope you guys are ready because I am.
I'm ready. I want to see this. Oh, that's a good beat.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Flows4u. Thank you so much for being on the show tonight, Dante. Thank you so much for Jaime and Dustin and everybody else watching. We're about to get it on and popping. This is the end of the show. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. I love me some pickles and grits. It's my favorite time of the day. I come home to some big old pickles in a jar. I open it up, man, is it so yummy? Gotta pull one out and put it in my tummy. Not to the kids, it goes to your homie. Crunch, crunch, I'm gonna go and munch. Let's get some grits, let's cook up some lunch. Let's get it! Yeah! What doesn't belong on a pizza?
Pineapples.
Pineapples. Gross, man, put it on the side. Don't put it on your pizza. Gross, yucky, ew. They deserve
to be on the side in the can nowhere else, man. Let's get it. Dontaye, you've been amazing. Thank you for being on the show. Love you guys so much. Thanks for blowing up the comments tonight. Jason, take us home.
All right, guys. Appreciate you so much. Thanks again. Check out Flows4u. I hope you're having an amazing night. And we'll see you next Thursday. Again, if you have questions today, send us an email. Go to our website. Bye. Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, Flows4u, Flows4u. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say Flows4u, Flows4u. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say Flows4u, Flows4u. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say Flows4u.